What is up, XX Phil's fan here, and at this point, what can you say about the Eagles' season? It's definitely going down the tank. The Eagles have dropped now to 3-5 with their latest defeat last night against the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. 28 to 13, I believe, was the final. And what can you say about this team anymore? I mean, obviously a lot of changes need to be made. I believe they need to clean house. As I've been saying, Andy Reid needs to be fired, and I think Marty Mornhinweg as well. But to a point, I don't think Vic's getting the job done anymore, obviously. I mean, obviously, the 7 sacks last night, some were his fault. I mean, I think he holds on to the ball too long, but some obviously weren't. And that O-line is just absolutely horrendous, and had another key injury last night. Todd Herman's left the game with a ankle, foot/foot injury, I think. I didn't get the details on that to see how long he's out, but this team obviously is just, to me, it just seems like last year, honestly. And it just looks like it's going down a path of what it did last year. And Jeffrey Lurie stated at the beginning of the year that 8-8 was not acceptable, and that Andy Reid would definitely be let go if the Eagles did not exceed expectations this year. And at 3-5 currently, I think we will be seeing the end of the Andy Reid era. To talk about the game a little bit, the defense again was struggling throughout most of the game. They looked good at points, but again, the Saints, when they needed to, were able to drive on our defense, I should say. And the running game, I mean, New Orleans has 4 or 3 backs. Sproles is out with a broken hand, but even without Darren Sproles, I mean, their running attack was one of the lowest in the NFL coming in, and they ran all over the Eagles' defense. And to me, it looked like last year, like the first couple games of the Eagles season this year, their tackling looked fine. I mean, that was a huge issue last year with the defense. Tackling was terrible. But last night again, the tackling looked absolutely horrible. Missed tackles everywhere, and Kurt Coleman to me is one of the worst tackling safeties in the NFL. He probably missed 2 or 3 tackles last night, and the 2 or 3 tackles that he missed led to huge runs for the Saints. So obviously I think they need to put somebody in there, and I didn't think Nate Allen's injury was that serious, but that rookie David Sims ended up, or I don't think he's a rookie, excuse me, but David Sims ended up playing for Nate Allen last night. And he didn't do that bad. He got burned a couple times, but at least he makes tackles in the open field when he has to. I mean, he did miss that one, but Kurt Coleman, just tackle after tackle in the open field, he just misses time and time again. Your safety's supposed to be your enforcer. I mean, this defense obviously lost a huge key component in 2008 at the end of the season when Brian Dawkins went to the Broncos and has since retired, but they need a safety that's going to step up and make those hits. And, I mean, that brings me really to my final point. Other than the Harriman's injury, there wasn't any more injuries. And then the offense, to hit on this before my final point, the offense, one big play to DeSean Jackson, the 75-yard touchdown, D-Jack, making the open field move. That was the only excitement I honestly got out of watching the whole game. And he made a great move, got to the end zone, scored the touchdown. But you look at that touchdown being a 75-yard pass play from Vic to Jackson, and it's not in the red zone. Last year and this year, the Eagles have to be the worst offensive team in the NFL in the red zone. They were in the red zone 3 times last night, and all 3 times, no touchdowns. First time, Vic ended up throwing a pick 6 out of Selleck's hands. The next 2 times down, field goals. I mean, even against a Saints team that's not, as good as they have been the past couple of years, you have to take touchdowns against any team in the NFL, in my opinion, when you get into the red zone. A field goal every now and then, fine. But, I mean, the Eagles are just so bad in the red zone. And I think some of that is obviously, some of it's obviously got to go to Marty Mornhinweg, which is another reason why I want him fired. But to bring me to my last point, this team has so much talent, but these last 2 years, and the year before that for the matter, they've just underachieved so much. And I really think it comes down to this team doesn't have heart. You've heard a lot of people say, this team's so talented, why don't they succeed so much? And I've asked the same question. But I honestly think it's because this team has no heart. You look at the great Eagles teams from 2005 when they made it to the Super Bowl against the Patriots. They had players on defense like Brian Dawkins, Jeremiah Trotter. These guys know how to motivate and get a defensive play to its peak ability, if you will. The Eagles' defense I look at now has no such leader. And they have so much talent, on both sides of the ball, really. So much talent, but no leader that inspires, like, say, a Brian Dawkins. And so many people love Brian Dawkins in Philadelphia, me included, because he embodied the spirit of Philadelphia. We are fighting people in Philadelphia, sports, anything. So that's why people love Brian Dawkins so much, because he embodied that spirit. It's like if a person in Philly, like an everyday person, would just want to strap on a helmet and shoulder pads and just go out there and hit somebody or go out there and play, which like a lot of the fans in Philly would love to do, because we're the best fans in any sport, hands down. Brian Dawkins played like it was his last time they were playing a football game, every game. It was 110% effort from the first snap on defense to the last snap. The Eagles just do not have a leader like that anymore, and I think honestly, in the end, that's why they are not succeeding as a whole unit. You look at the talent, like I stated, and they have so much talent, but they don't have like that Brian Dawkins, that player that just motivates everybody. It makes everybody better than they actually are because of the effort that he shows on the field, and he's never going to quit. And I think that's why Philadelphia Eagles fans love Brian Dawkins. I know that's why I did, and I just think that's what this team's lacking. And until they get a leader like that, they are just not going to succeed. So the Eagles dropped to 3-5 for the loss in New Orleans. The outlook on the season not looking good. I'm gonna predict here that they're not gonna make playoffs, but that's just me. This is XX Bills fan. Peace.